Friday, Wilson County Public Library teens. It is that time. You made it. You made it through the end of the week. And it's that time, once again, for a brand new episode of TGIF, Wilson County Public Library's book talk where we look at the best in YA literature. I'm your host, Kate Britton. I am the teen librarian here at the Wilson County Public Library, and I'm really excited that you're joining me today because today we're going to look at a book that is known as the most beloved book in all of American literature ever, period. And honestly, I'm kind of ashamed because I've never talked about this book on this show before, which I felt like probably would have been kind of a no-brainer because it's loved by young adults, older kids, tweens alike. I'm also ashamed because I have a confession to make. I had not read this book until about a month ago. And I'm really ashamed of myself that was not the case. And it wasn't for lack of not wanting to read it. It was just I never had the opportunity to read it. I was never required to read it in school, so I never did. And then I got older, and there were other things I kind of would have rather have read at the time. And so I only now just got around to it. And I'm really ashamed of myself because I think this has become probably one of my absolute favorite books. And so what is the book we're talking about today? You're like, Kate, come on, come on, just go ahead and tell us. Well, that book is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. So this book, a couple years back, there was this this kind of poll competition thing that PBS did called the Great American Read. And it was looking at the most beloved books in the United States. And this came out as the number one most loved book, and I see why. A little background, this book was published in 1960, was written by Harper Lee. This is actually, other than Go Set a Watchman, which was the sequel to this book, that was published after her death. So this was the only book that she wrote that was published in her lifetime. And so it came out in 1960. It's set in the fictional town of Macomb, Alabama, which is kind of an amalgamation of a lot of, small town, rural, southern areas. It looks a lot like a lot of small towns, speaking as someone who comes from a small southern town. And if you don't know the story, I'm just going to kind of give you a brief overview. It is told from the viewpoint of our narrator, Jean Louise Finch, also known as Scout. And it is told from an adult's perspective, looking back on her childhood. It starts when Scout's I think she's about 5 at the beginning of the book, and she's probably about 8 or 9 at the end. But it tells this story of growing up in this small town, in this small community, during the early years of the Great Depression. And it focuses on a lot of kind of stories and things that happen in Macomb, and you learn about the residents of the town, and there are funny little things that happen, but the big overarching story takes place actually not till kind of towards the later half of the book. And it is when Scout's father, Atticus Finch, who is kind of the moral compass of our story, he is a lawyer, and he takes on the case for a black man named Tom Robinson, who has been charged with raping a 19-year-old white girl. And of course, at this time, in the 1930s in rural Alabama, it's not something that is done much. A lot of the residents of the town don't want him to defend this man, and he does. And one of the most, I think, there are a lot of parts in this book that really stick out to me, and I think one of the most quoted lines was Atticus talking to Scout and telling Scout when she was a kid that you don't really know much about a person until you get in their skin, you put on their skin and walk around a little bit in it, putting yourself in someone else's position and seeing things from their perspective. And so this book is about, it's about justice. It's about kind of living to your moral code in a way. It's about, it's, you know, anti-bigotry, anti-hate. There are so many things that many lessons that this book teaches. And I think it is just, I think it's beyond brilliant. Truly, I really do. And that's why I'm telling you about it right now and talking to you about it. And so it kind of emphasizes tolerance and learning about other people and your community and seeing things from their perspectives. And I just think it's one of the, it's just incredible. It's incredible. So another neat thing is, I'm going to tie this in, is that, kind of a shameless plug, first Thursday of every month, we do a thing called Teens Talk Books, where we have a Zoom book chat for teenagers, and this month's is actually going to be, well, not this month's, but the first Thursday in March, we're going to be talking about To Kill a Mockingbird. I know a lot of you have probably read it. If you haven't, pick it up. It's not a super long read. You can get into the story very, very quickly, but it's a good chance to kind of see what your peers think about different books and get their perspectives on things. So yeah, every first Thursday of every month, 4 o'clock, all you have to do is contact me or the library, and we can get you a link to the Zoom meeting. And it's awesome, and it's a guided discussion, and it's kind of goes wherever it'll take us. So, To Kill a Mockingbird, do I need to say more? I don't think I do. I really don't think I need to say more. Pick this book up. You can find it anywhere. We have many copies here at the library. It'll do you some good. It'll entertain you. It'll break your heart. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry. It'll make you think. I truly, truly think that reading this book may make you a better person. So if you think books have that kind of power, which I do. So anyway, with that being said, I hope you have a lovely weekend. Come check out To Kill a Mockingbird, figuratively and literally, from our library. And we'll see you next time right here on TGIF. Bye, guys. Be good.